This is my Premier League trim series where I break down the hair of every goal scorer in the Premier League every week so you know what works, what doesn't, and what you need to ask your barber for the next time you're in their chair. This isn't about trends, this is about suitability for your face shape and your hair type. If you're new here, my name is Adil, I'm an ex-Big 4 analyst and a former barber, so this is not just opinion, this is technique. Let's get straight into it. Game week 22 is done and there weren't that many goal scorers, however, we do have some good trims. Let's break them down. Let's start with Marcus Edwards from Burnley. This is a mid-drop skin fade paired with a rounded mid-top, and it works perfectly for coily type 4 hair. And the reason why this works so well is because of shape. That height on the top adds verticality and helps widen the appearance of the forehead. So it gives that balanced, strong jawline look, great for a rounded face. And the key thing here is the drop fade. I can see that the fade curves down behind the ear, following the natural occipital bone. And again, it doesn't expose too much of the neck. It keeps that dark density around the crown, avoids that egghead look, and keeps the silhouette masculine and sharp from the side profile. Texture-wise, this is picked out and rounded, and it's not flat. The top sits around 2 to 3 inches long and follows the natural curve of the head rather than being squared off. In terms of routine, type 4 hair can really get dry and brittle, that's why it needs moisture. Start with damp hair and add in leave-in conditioner. Then you want to grab your sponge or your glove and go around in circular motions for around 1 to 2 minutes. That clusters the fibers together and creates definition. Product wise, this looks like a curl enhancing cream with shea butter or maybe even coconut oil, followed by a light argan oil spray. A firm hold spray I can see has been used at the front of the hairline just to keep it nice and crisp. But in my opinion, this is a very high quality fade, blurry, clean and well executed. If you want this, ask your barber for a rounded mid top or a high top, whatever you want, depends on the length of the top, but make sure it's rounded, and a drop mid skin fade. You want that natural sharp shape up, so make sure that the barber doesn't push you back at the front and your vertical bars are nice and defined. And make sure the type of fade is a gradual one and not a compact one. Refer to this video if you don't know what that means. Next, we have Costulas, also known as Babis. This haircut has been dominating the scene for the past 2 to 3 years, and I can say with chest that this is going to continue for the next year or so. So if you want this, this is called a modern flow taper. And the reason why it's so popular because it suits pretty much anyone. If you're a corporate guy, it works perfect for you. If you're not a corporate guy, it works perfect for you. If you've got wavy to straight hair and you want to keep length and movement at the top, but still a fade and structure on the sides, this is the one for you. The top is a textured quiff. I can see around 4 to 5 inches of length, and it's been point cut for choppiness so the hair moves naturally rather than sitting heavy. The haircut is layered to, again, sit nice and wavy. The sides are a low taper, it's a low skin taper. Notice how there's still hair above and behind the ears, and it only hits skin around the sideburn and the back of the nape area. Again, the back is also skin tapered, transitioning from skin all the way to a nice weight at the occipital bone. There's no harsh fade here, it's nice and subtle and clean. This style though requires a hairdryer if you want it to look like Babis. Blow dry the front and push it backwards to create that volume. Then you want to create some dampness to the hair with some sea salt spray to add some grit and texture. And then you want to finish it with some matte clay to define those individual pieces. This type of haircut looks good when it's grown in as well, so you don't need to go back to the barber within a week or so. It's really low maintenance. It looks great when there's stubble on the side as well, so it's great news for your wallet. If you have this type of hair and you want this kind of haircut, make sure you ask for a low skin taper on the sides and wavy textured hair at the top. It's around 4 to 5 inches at the front and around 2 to 3 inches around the back. You want the hair at the top to be point cut and layered for texture, and you want the facial hair to be trimmed down to a 0.5 all over, shaped up at the jawline and cheek line, and you want that mustache to be trimmed down to a 0.5 as well. Next we have Bryan Mbuemo. This is bald by choice, I believe. Maybe he was receding at the top and he's just decided to take it all off. However, when a person decides to go extremely short at the top or bald, the beard becomes the haircut. Now this is a powerful beard. It adds maturity, intimidation and presence on the pitch. Let's talk about the shape here. This is a full box beard with a squared off chin, and that shape at the bottom creates the illusion of a more chiseled jawline. If the beard was triangular at the chin, then this exposes the roundness of the head, and we're not trying to achieve that. We're trying to make sure that everything is square because that gives the most masculine look. Lengthwise, the chin sits around 2 to 3 inches while the sides are tapered, so the face doesn't look wide or too round as well. That is super important. Mustache, I can see that it's trimmed to around 6 to 8 millimeters, and it's shaped around the top lip so it doesn't overhang. And the beard beard doesn't just stop at the sideburn, there's no harsh line here. It fades seamlessly into the skin. The cheek line is very high and natural and ends just below where the lips meet. Again, something that we teach here. The neckline sits around 2 inches below the jawline around here and 2 inches above the Adam's apple around here. Again, something that we teach at Balanced Male Grooming. Let's break down the actual fade of the beard because it is actually diagonal and not horizontal. I'm going to draw some lines here. The fade actually transitions from around a number 2 into skin, and you can see each guideline has the perfect space. And that's super important when it comes to fading, to make sure that your guidelines are evenly spaced out. This will give you a gradual fade instead of a compact fade. And in terms of maintenance, it's super important here. Make sure you are shampooing 2 to 3 times a week. Make sure you apply beard oil to the skin underneath the beard, and that's because healthy skin grows healthy hair. And in terms of hold and shape, you want to use a beard balm, usually with beeswax or shea butter, to give it that hold, and then use a brush to train the hair to go downwards and distribute the product evenly. For this thickness of beard, always use a wide tooth comb and make sure it's wooden, because anything plastic will damage the hair and create static. If you're an athlete or you go to the gym regularly, or maybe even you just sweat at work, you need to remove all that salt to prevent any dryness. If you want this kind of beard, make sure you ask for a full box beard, squared off at the chin area. Make sure it's 2 to 3 inches long. You want that to be blended into skin around the sideburn area, and then you want to trim your mustache to 6 to 8 millimeters, shaped up around the top lip. You want that neckline to be placed 1 inch or maybe a finger's width below your jawline, and then in the middle, you want that 2 fingers width above that Adam's apple and then placed around here. You want that cheek line to be shaped up nice and high and ending up where the 2 lips meet. Make sure you're combing and hydrating this beard to make sure that you look good 24/7. And that's it for Game Week 22. Different trims, different identities. Don't copy the footballer, copy what actually suits your face shape, your hair type and your lifestyle. I'll see you in the next one.